In Chapter 10, we are going to look into protecting the Earth's resources. Lesson 1, we will look into non-renewable energy resources. But first, I want you to close your eyes and visualize. You are standing at the edge of a bog. It's a wet, swampy place. Pools of water surround islands of brown and green carpets. The islands are really peat moss. See the small bushes and trees around the edges. In time, the moss and other plants will begin to rot. You are looking at one of nature's factories. This is where coal is made. That is, if you have a very long time to wait. Coal, oil, and gas are valuable sources of energy. However, the use of these resources can cause problems. A resource is a supply that will meet a need for materials or energy. There are two types of resources: renewable and non-renewable. Renewable resource is one that can be replaced. Trees are renewable resources. After cutting old trees, new ones can be grown. Other resources, such as coal or copper, are non-renewable. Non-renewable resource cannot be replaced at all or cannot be replaced as fast as we use it. Fossil fuels are non-renewable resources. Fossil fuels include coal, petroleum or crude oil, and natural gas. The energy from fossil fuels comes from sunlight. Coal is a non-renewable energy resource that forms from plants. Plants in swampy places use energy from sunlight to grow. Under certain conditions, layers of dead plants build up and form a material called peat. Peat gets buried and slowly changes into soft coal and then hard coal. Coal is a fuel. That is, it can be burned to make useful heat or energy. The energy that is released when coal burns was sunlight energy shining on plants. Today, coal fuels many electric power plants. Burning coal turns water into steam. Steam causes generators to spin and make electricity. Here's a pictorial view of how coal was formed. So, in the first picture, it shows the swamp 300 million years ago. Before the dinosaurs, many giant plants died in swamps. There was too much water. 1 million years ago, there's water. There's water on the top layer, dirt, and here's the dead plants from 300 million years ago. So over millions of years, the plants were buried under water and dirt. Now, heat and pressure turned the dead plants into coal. Another pictorial view of making coal starts as peat. Pressure and water make it into lignite, and over time it becomes hard coal. Most scientists think that petroleum, also called crude oil, and natural gas form the same way that coal forms. However, oil comes from buried tiny sea organisms, not buried plants. Since oil, natural gas, and coal are made from the remains of organisms, these resources are called fossil fuels. Natural gas. So here's a chart that you will use and need to know for an assessment. Fossil fuels are made from the remains of organisms, like I just said. Two advantages of fossil fuels is that they're easy to store and transport, and they have more energy than other resources. Two disadvantages of fossil fuels are that supplies are limited and they cause pollution. Fossil fuels are made from the remains of organisms. They're easy to store and easy to transport. Supplies of fossil fuels are limited. They will not last forever. And they can cause pollution.